apologize to you who are here, and uh, here we go. I believe that you already know that I am Mr. Numbers because I because you've seen my videos on YouTube. And I'll take a deep breath and relax because I'm realizing that what I want to do is tell you that yes, I am Mr. Numbers. I've got 1.6 million views on YouTube. I am the author of the Right Brain Math book. I have presented to math teacher conferences, and I have something in common with Colonel Sanders. I also was in the military. I was a field medic in Vietnam, and but the reason that I see the connection is that I became Mr. Numbers after I was 60 years old. I started this late in life. I did not grow up being a math whiz, an expert in math. I never actually took a math class in college other than statistics, which I needed for a teaching degree. I was an English major, a liberal arts, not a science major. And I know that when my kids were in grade school, my daughter was in 4th grade and she was in Mr. Waltzer's class, and it was Waltzer World. And I found that it took me a couple days to figure out they were learning math different than I had learned it, and now we've got the core curriculum and things are changing again and again and again. And it took me a while to figure out what on earth they were talking about. And so I am just sort of an ordinary Joe in a lot of ways for me learning this. And when I became Mr. Numbers, the way that happened was that I was teaching actually home design class at a Santa Barbara charter school, and they asked me if I would teach advanced math in the 8th grade for the best students in the class, and I said yes. And I did that because I really do like numbers, and I've always been fascinated with it, and I just kept a day or two ahead of the kids, and it worked out fine. And then they asked me to work, because that worked out pretty well, they asked me to work with kids who were struggling with the standardized tests. And as I did that, I ended up one day with this girl. I was supposed to work with her for 50 minutes, and she just put her head down on the desk and she said, "I won't look at a math problem," you know? And I'm going to turn this screen share thing off here. There we go. And she said, you know, and so she said, "I won't look at a math problem." And put her head down on the desk, and I said, "Well, look," out of desperation, I said, "You know, I would like you to play with the ones with me." And so we just kind of played with little patterns with the ones digits. And she went along with that and did that. And then I said, "Let's play with the twos." And she went, "Oh, no." And it's like, "I'll help you." And she went, "Okay." And so we did that. And then we did the threes. And then we did the fours and the sixes and the eights. And it probably would have ended right there. That would have been all we were going to do with it. But what happened was 2 days later, I walked into the same classroom. And there she was. And she was waving this piece of paper that we had scribbled on. And she said, "I'm using this for all my math problems." And she was really excited. and I could see that she had done 100% turnaround with math, and about her belief about herself doing it, and that she felt confident and was excited about doing it, and it was just this 100% change in direction from where she was totally resistant to math and hating math and not going to do any, to totally being comfortable with it and really enjoying it. The next day I went back and I revamped what I had created and presented it to more kids. And then I did that every night. I saw that kids really respond to these patterns and really loving it and really playing with numbers and really doing well with it. And I saw both kids who were struggling in school respond, and I presented it to kids who were good in math, and they loved it too. And other teachers said, "You got to go share this. You know, this is too good," because they saw the kids really responding to this, and that's where I became Mr. Numbers and started making my videos to share with kids all over the world. Now, what I'm doing today is not for kids. You may have seen some of my glitzy videos, and you know, with numbers and animation and things moving around and doing all this, but basically today is for I'm aiming this at parents and teachers of these kids, because you are the gateway to getting this to the kids. You are the ones that are going to understand it enough and help them out and get it in depth, because I've attracted a lot of kids to this, and I've attracted some teachers. And what I'm wanting to do is, rather than just kind of the flashes, so that they go at this, oh, wow, cool. You know, I get a lot of that. And that's good. But what I want to do is really get people that are excited about this, sharing it with the kids. So if this is for you. If your kids are struggling with math, or bored with math, or struggling with their teacher with math, or struggling with you, if you are the teacher, or you're a homeschool parent, or any way that you're really wanting to learn this. And I'm seeing more and more viewers pop on here, so welcome to this live webinar that we're doing it. And there is there should be a screen on the side for you to make comments and to give me feedback as we go, and I'll try to check that out as best I can. So if your kids are struggling with math, or they don't feel good about math, the numbers, they hate it, they're bored, they're frustrated, they just are not doing math, and you are concerned about them moving forward in math, you're aware that it will affect what classes they take in high school. You know that it'll affect if they want to go to college, it'll affect the ACT and SAT scores. All that is very, math is a big part of it. Math is very important in a lot of career directions and choices. And a lot of kids, I know that I've had a lot of people tell me, yeah, I wanted to do this, but it involved math, you know, and I just couldn't handle the math on it. So I didn't do what I really wanted to do in life. And I think that's really sad. And I want to have you help your kids do what they love to do in their lives. And not, if math is an obstacle to that, I want to end that so that it's no longer an obstacle for them to do what they really love to do. That's who I'm talking to, I'm not. This won't be glitzy. I have some a document projector because I'm going to show you some stuff today. I'm not trying to spend a lot of time convincing you that this is important. What I'm trying to do is give you a structure of the value of right brain math, of this pattern play math, and and I want to give you just a lot of tools today, and that's where this is going today. And I promise you that at the end of this talk, I'm going to show you how to get more, because I can only show you so much in this hour that we've got here, and I'm going to show you as much as I can because this is valuable stuff, and I really want to share it. I'm retired, living on Social Security, and I really have a mission of service that I really want to help kids, and I want to help the parents of kids. I'll just show you one more on this. I hope you can see my grandkids there, Oscar and Henry and Maria and Eleanor and Arthur. And we got Tucker in the back of one of their friends at a park this summer. But before this ends, I'll show you how to learn more about this right brain math approach that is useful for grade school kids in learning their basic math. This is about basic math, but it's also useful for MOPS, mothers of preschool kids. I've taught a bunch of kindergarten kids. If kids can write their basic digits, I can teach them multiplication right from there. And also for remedial work, I work with high school kids, I work with college kids, I work with adults, and it really is incredibly helpful for them. If I had learned this in elementary school, I would have thought math was fun and easy, is what older kids say. And kids say, this is 100 times easier than what I learned in school. And OMG, OMG, seriously, OMG, thanks. Now I can get my mom off my back. I was told to do math the proper way, and it didn't help. This is awesome. That's what kids are telling me. I always thought I was stupid, but I got this immediately. That's the sort of feedback that I'm getting from kids. So I want your kids to get that. So enough about this. I want to get into right brain, what I call right brain math. And there are many different types of math. Music is a path into math. The ones I use, there's two basic parts of what I'm doing, and I want you. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you some real base for what I do, and I'm going to also take you into some real advanced parts of it. So I'll give you the base of it, and I'm going to show you how far it can go. We'll go into creating the squares from 1 to 50 or higher if you want. From patterns, just pattern play math today. And then if at the end of this, I'll show you how to take it a lot deeper, to fill in the whole middle and to go deep and to get tools and techniques that will really help you create this in a fun, easy way. And we got more viewers showing up too, so welcome to all the new people that are showing up here. One of the tools that I use is to play with digits. And digits are fingers, and they're also numbers. We call both things digits because people learn to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We have 10 fingers, and our whole number system is based on 10. And we can really play with that and use that for a lot of the learning that we do here. And what the digits now, first of all, are really 0, which is the last digit that was created. And if you don't understand that, look at my Mr. Numbers video on Roman numerals, because it'll show you how part of the fall of the Roman Empire was due to the fact that their math system didn't have a 0 and really needed it. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now 10 is not a digit, is not one of the main digits. 10 is the 1 and the 0. That's what makes up the 10. So know that it's just those 1 digits, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Those are the digits. And so if you have a number like 1,243, the 3 is the last digit. It's the 1's digit. And the play that I do is playing with that last digit and then playing with the 10's digits separately, using 2 different patterns that come together to create the numbers that we're playing with. And the 10's digits can be go more than 10, because like 20 dimes is $2, or 10 dimes is $1. It can go beyond, and it's still dimes. You can look at it as dimes, you look at it as dollars, but just separating the 1's digits and the 10's digits of all numbers really show us some incredible patterns that are really cool. And that's a big part of what we're going to do today. And the second part of it is the numbers that add up to 10 are really important. And so let me just say why that's important, because the 1's are easy and the 2's are easy. 3's and 4's are pretty easy. You can create an array by going down by 3's or by 4's, 4, 8, 12, 16, 24. Kids can see that, they can understand that. And 5's aren't too bad, because you have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. Here I come, ready or not. Right? Does that sound familiar to some of you? So 5's are pretty easy. Where kids really struggle and fall apart and start getting scared of math is when they get into 6, 7, 8, 9's, the multiplication tables, because they can't really see them. And it's like all memorization. Now, I call this right brain math, because left brain math is learning all the individual pieces. You know, like 7 times 9 is 63. Now, kids memorize that, and they don't even know what it means, and they're not visualizing it, and they don't have a sense of it, and they don't have a scale or anything that really helps them. So what I'm doing is I'm creating structures that kids can see, that make sense to them, that are real to them. And that's what right brain math to me is about, is creating these structures. So what happens is, I'm going to try this again. Yeah, let's use this one. So I hope you see that the numbers 1 and 9, the numbers that add up to 10, and I call them the 10 adds. That's important to do it, because it's the first thing that we're really going to learn. The numbers that add up to 10, 1 and 9, 2 and 8, 3 and 7, and 4 and 6, and 5 and 5 um, all use the same patterns but backwards. And what that means is that your kids, when they reach 6, 7, 8, 9, and they start getting really frustrated, you can teach them that the ones and the nines use the same pattern, and the twos and the eights do the same pattern. So the eights are as easy as the twos in some ways, or can really give you a base for learning the eights. And the threes can give you a base for learning the sevens, and the fours can give you a base for learning the sixes. So that really cuts it down more than a half. It cuts it down to about a quarter of the struggle that kids have with math once they learn these basic patterns that are based on 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that's now I got to get back to there we go. Good. I'm back to me now. And I'm going to go to my document piece here in a second. So, I want you to know that this is going to help you and your kids enjoy math and school more. It's going to help them get into the college that they want and do well there. It's going to help them get rid of obstacles to do what they want in life. It's going to help them improve your relationship with your kids, because so many parents who try to help their kids or are homeschooling their kids, math can become a real struggle in their relationship. And rather than math becoming a struggle in the relationship, it can become a real benefit and a real connector between the two of you. So you can really enjoy being a parent and having this help you. So I'm going to connect in. Now let's see if I can do this. Bear with me. I'm going to move on to my document reader here, so you can really take a look. Now this is basically a dial pad from a phone, and on the dial pad, first of all, kids love phones, and kids also are fascinated by phone. It's really valuable for them to see, to play with it. It's like phones are magical, and dial pads are real special, and kids can visualize dial pads. So let's take a look at this. The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And those are the ones digits of the ones. So that's real simple. And in another one, I'll show you how we can create the sevens this way, and we can create the threes this way. And it's really cool and simple. But right now, what I want to do is I want to show you what we were talking about, the 10 adds, the numbers that add up to 10. And what you do is, going through the 5, any line going through the 5, the 1 and the 9, 1 plus 9 is 10, 9 plus 1 is 10, 2 plus 8 is 10, 8 plus 2 is 10, 3 and 7 are 10, 7 plus 3 are 10, and 4 plus 6 are 10, and 6 plus 4 are 10. Got more viewers showing up here. This is really fun here. And you can have kids do this. That my sister has taught third grade. Teresa Shoemaker, back in Minnesota, where I'm from, has taught third grade for decades, and she says kids really struggle with the numbers that add up to 10. It doesn't come to them easy, and it's really helpful because it also not only does that, but it helps them for carrying numbers. and for lots of other stuff. So it's really valuable for kids to learn, and important for them to learn the numbers that add up to 10, because they are linked, and it really will help them a lot. Now I'm going to show you another piece here, and there, that's a little better. And these are the 10 adds again, and those were the hands that I was showing you. And so you can just go around. Now this is a number wheel. For those of you who, I won't go into my screen share right now, but it's basically a number wheel to 10. If you do a number wheel to 10 and then you bend it around in a circle and you bring 10 back around to 0, that creates a number wheel. And number wheels just have the ones digits, and it's like the last digit of your mileage gauge is a good way to look at it. You know, that just when it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0, and then the 10th digit goes up separately, up 1, but it never goes beyond that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. So that's really valuable for you to do that. And now what I want to show you is that the 10 adds are really important, and you're getting that. Trying to get you better light there. I think that's a little better there. So here's another number wheel. And now, if 10 adds are easy, then if you do 9 adds, 0 and 9, and 1 and 8. So instead of going across the number wheel, and well, yeah, here it is. The number wheel goes across. So what you can do with the 10 adds, I'm going back to the 10 adds again. 5 plus 5 is 10. 6 plus 4 is 10. 7 plus 3 is 10. 8 plus 2 is 10. 9 plus 1 is 10. So you can just go across, and 0 plus 10 is 10. So you can really just go across, and those are the 10 adds. So it can be really fun. It's magical to teach kids, showing them visualizations like that. And if you did my survey, or if you're here, you probably already have that. So now we're doing the 9 adds here. And the 9 adds, numbers that add up to 9, are instead of going across, they just drop down 1 to the left, going down to the left. So it's 1 and 8, 0 and 9, 2 and 7, 3 and 6, and 4 and 5. Right? So that's kind of cool. You know, the patterns, the visual patterns that are used in this are really fascinating to kids. And what you can actually do with this is, and if you get my left is right and right is left here. Okay, now if you look at this, then you can actually, with the 9 adds, create the 9s. 0, 9, 0 plus 9 equals 9, and 0, 9 is the first 9. 1, 8, we're going to go around this. 1, 8 is 18 is the second 9. 2, 7, 27 is the third 9. 36, 3, 6 is a fourth 9. Remember, 45, 4, 5 is 5 times 9. And then if you go past 4 and you go to 5, you go 5, 4. 5, 4 is 6 times 9. 6, 3, 63 is 7 times 9. 72 is 8 times 9. Sorry about that. 7 times 9 is 72. 8 times 72, 81, and 90. You actually just go around. You can create all the 9s on a number circle like that, and that's really cool. And then the other part of it is that all the numbers, the 0 and 9, 1 and 8, 2 and 7, all add up to 9. So you can do it. I have that over here on the left, that those numbers add up to 9 as well. So you can really play with the 9. So this is a practical way in the middle that kids can learn the 9s in a fun, creative, playful way that really makes sense to them. And each number is one less. So 36, you just go down to 2, 3, 27. I'll go into that more in another one, but it's real easy to learn the 9s when kids have a visual tool like this that helps them. So that not just doing rote, grind out memorization. What they're doing is fun play, and that's the goal that we want to work with here, is doing fun play with numbers.
I would like to show you a wonderful, incredible tool. I'm going to show you a way to write out the squares from 1 to 60 or higher in a simple pattern method that plays with these patterns of the 1's digits and 10's digits. There's the 1's digits and the 10's digits, two separate things, and we're going to play with both of them. So let's get started here. What we're going to do now, this is my worksheet here, and this is Squaring Numbers worksheet, and I've divided this one into different columns. Now if you see over here, this one has the number, the tensies, onesies with a line to create it. This is the same thing to create it down to, it goes down to 50, but it'd be really hard for you to read that. So what I've done is I've divided it into 3 columns, but know that that is, the 3 columns are arbitrary, and actually it's going to break up some of our sections, but know that, think of it in terms of this long section, and if I have kids work with this, I work them with one long sheet so they can really see the patterns a lot easier. So bear with me, because it's easier for you to read it on a 9 by 16 system like we've got here. So we've got 20 in each column, 3 columns, but that could be all one column, and it could go to 100. This is an incredible system. So what we're going to do is we're going to find the patterns for the 1's digits, and then separately we'll find a different pattern for the 10's digits. We put the 2 of them together, and we have created the squares of numbers that have never been seen before. This is entirely new stuff. So here we go. We're going to start out with green with the 1's digits. And 1 squared, of course, is 1. That's 1 times 1 is 1. 2 squared, 2 times 2 is 4. 3 squared, 3 times 3 is 9. 4 squared is 4 times 4 is 16. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the 6 there, and then in orange I'm going to put a 1. Now 5 squared, of course, is 25, and I'll use the 2 colors for that. There we go. Now 6 squared, of course, is 36. Now you have, of course, to know your basic times tables. Know your squares from 1 to 10, but that's all that you have to know from this. Beyond that, we're simply doing 1-digit addition to numbers, or possibly 2-digit, but almost all of it here is going to be 1-digit addition to two-digit numbers at most. It's really incredible to do that. So 7 squared is 49. 8 squared is 64. 9 squared is 81. And what we'll do is we'll look at these patterns in a minute that we're creating here. And then 10 squared, and 10s like 10 dimes are $1. 100 is 10 tens, and 0 ones. So there we are with this to 100. Now, what we're going to do, first of all, is we're going to look at the patterns for the ones digits. We're going to find those and work a system out so that we can just write those out. So here we go. Now if we do 11, I'll just do another sheet here, and you can see that 11 times 11 is 11, 11, 121. Okay, we'll come back to that. So you know it's going to end in 1. And what I want you to see is no matter what, whether this is 2, 21, 31, 41, 51, 61, it's always going to be 1 times 1 is 1, and then you're going to move over. So the last digit, the last number, the onesies in my times table, the onesies is always going to be 1, no matter what numbers come in front of it. If the last number is 1, the pattern is going to end in 1. And it's the same for all the digits. So let's look at 12. First of all, let's let's go ahead and do that. So 12 squared is going to be 24, and 12. I'm looking ahead here. What I'm looking at here is the only thing I really want to look at is, can you see where any number, if it's 22, 32, 42, 52, there's always going to be that first 4 and then everything in front of it. It's going to end in 4. So down here we can put our 4. And a 3, same thing, is always going to end in a 9, no matter whether it's 13, 23, 33, whatever. And then 4s are going to end in 6. Now, 15, a 5 times 5 is always going to end in a 5. And there's actually more patterns with that, and we'll get to that later with numbers that end in 5. But I just want to deal with the ones digits here. So 16 is always going to end, 6 times 6 is 36, so the last number is going to be 6. Let's just take a look at that. So 16 times 16, 36, carry the 3 is 96, 16, 6, 5, 256. Okay? Can you see that no matter whether that's 16 or 26 or 36, whatever these numbers are, you're always going to have that 6 sitting out there on the end, and that's going to be the last digit. Same thing. I hope I'm not going over this too much for you, but I think it's really important for you to catch that. 7s are always going to end in a 9, like 49. 8s are always going to end in a 4, like 64. 9s are always going to end in a 1. And 0s are always going to end in 20, no matter, a 0, no matter what you're multiplying, 20, 30, 40, 50, it's always going to be 0. So that's really an easy one to do. So now we have this pattern. Let's look at the pattern that we've created with these numbers. The first 4 numbers are 1, 4, 9, 6, and the 1, 2, 3, 4. Go down here, it's that 4, 1, 4, 9, 6. So that pattern is going to continue after the 0. So you know the zeros are there. Let's do our zeros first. So we're just going to go through and do our zeros. $50 and $60. Those are all our zeros. Now, after the 0, so we're up here, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 21, 22, 23, 24, they're going to end in that 1, 4, 9, 6. And just think of 1, 2, 3, 4 squared, and that 1, 4, 9, 6 is a pattern that will keep showing up for us. So let's continue it on after the next 0. 1, 4, 9, 6. 1, 4, 9, 6. 1, 4, 9, 6. There's our patterns for that. And I'm going to move this over a little bit so that picks that up. There we go. Now, we know that the next number is always going to be 5. So sometimes I'll go through and I'll just do all the 5s and 0s first. So you know a number ending in 5 is going to end in, squared is going to end in 5. Now, let's take a look at 9876 going up, our 1496 going up. That's what they end in. Let's look down here, 1496. So we just do that, going up from the zeros. Going up from 0, 1496, 1496, 1496, 1496. That's cool. So we have already just done all the ones digits for all the squares up to 60, and if we went to 100 or 200, it would be the same thing. That isn't going to change at all. So that's cool. There we are. We've created that. Now, the next stage here is going to be the tens digits. That's the other half. I call them the tensies, and we play with those digits totally separately from the ones digits. We've done the ones digits. Now we're going to look at patterns in the tens digits, and what we find is an incredible, simple pattern. I'm going to put my green away right now and use my orange for my tens digits. And what we do here, well, let's just take a look. We have 0, 0, 0, and then after the 9 it changes. So after the 9, draw a line, and it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're at the other 9, and then it goes to 6, so it's changed. So let's draw our line there too. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it goes 6, 8, 10. Well, let's what does it look like? It looks like these are all zeros, of course, and then these go from 0 up by 1. So they go up 1, 2, 3, 4. Now from 4, after that 9, it's going 6, 8, 10. Well, the pattern was after the 9 is where it changed. After the 9 it changed. So let's go down and do a line after the 9. So now this is a continued here. And that's continued there. And we're doing the line after the 9s, because that's where we saw the pattern, and we'll see if this holds. Cool. Now, what's our pattern here is 6, 8, 10. So what's happening? They're going up by 2s, adding 2 to each of the previous number. So let's just put plus 2, and let's try it out. Next number would be 12, 6, 8, 10, 12, and that gives us 121. Now actually, there is our 11 times 11 right there, giving us 121. So that one fits. What about 12? Well, we're at 6, 8, 10, 12. We're at 14, and 12 times 12 is 144. There we go. See, I trust this better than I trust my multiplication over there, because I was focused on the last number. And then we're going to do 2 more. It's going to be 16. And some of you know that 13 squared is 169. If you want to stop, pause, check a calculator after any number that I do, you'll find that these are all accurate. They all work beautifully. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time going over them, but it's good to know that. So we just went up, we've added another line. So what do we do here? Well, we were at zeros, and then we went +1 for each number, then we added 2 to each number. So what do you think after this line? Let's try adding 3. 19, 14 squared, check it out, is 196. So we're on a good path. And 3 more, 16, 19, 22, and 15 squared is 225. Now some of you will know that and validate that indeed 15 squared is 225. Then 3 more is 25, and 3 more is 28. I want to say that the first person to recognize this pattern was Kelly Enzer, and I really appreciate her help in this structure to see the pattern first. And she had a son who had done my whole easy times table and all my multiplication, and she kind of wondered if the same patterns would be there anywhere in the squares of numbers, and she found that one. She noticed that they went by 1s, by 2s, by 3s, and let me know, and I've taken it from there. So I really appreciate her help in this. Now we're at another line, and this was going up by 3s, and now they're going to go up by 4. So we're at 28, which is a multiple of 4, remember. And it's really cool. This happens every time. Up here, we're at 4, which is a multiple of 2, and we're going to go up by 2s. Now we're at 28, and it's a multiple of 4. It's 7 times 4. So we go up by 4s. Now, if you miss anything that I'm doing, just go back and look at it and stop and do some multiplication and figure out and see what's happening. So this really helps you out here. And I'm going to move this sheet out of here. And we're going up by 4, so 28 becomes 32. 324 is 18 squared. Go up 4 more is 36. So really simple patterns, and 4 more is 40, and 20 squared is 400. Those zeros are the place where you can double check and make sure that you're correct, that this is accurate in what you're doing. So you're at 400 here. By the way, we had 16 squared is 256, and there's 16 squared is 256 there. So we just double check that one as well. So know that that is accurate. That does work. Now, we're still on 4s because we haven't hit a 9 yet. So know that it's basically 4, 6, 4, 6, 4, 6, 4, 6. So this one too is continued. 4, 6, 4, 6 for each of the patterns. Now some people will like to put those out early, so they'd put a +5, +6, +7, +8, +9, +10, +11, +12. Going down there early, but I want to take this one stage at a time. So let's continue with our 4s, and we're at 21 squared, and we're at 28, 32, 36, 40. It's so easy to just add by 4s, and that's just 44, and indeed 21 squared is 441. This is just so unbelievable. 4 more is 484, 4 more is 52. Now, we're going to go up by 5s at this point. This is 4 continued over there. And that now we're going to go at 5s, and we're going from 52. Now, because the last number is 2, it's all going to be 7s and 2s. You're adding by 5s. So the last digit is, every other one is going to be a 2, and the other ones are going to be 7. So 52, 57, 62, 67, 72. And 27 squared is 729. We're accurate on that. Now we're going to go up by sixes, and I'm just going to put these out here. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So you have those out there as well, but we'll add them in here as we go. We're at 72. Now we're going into our sixes here, and 72 is a multiple of 6. So 6 goes into 72 12 times. So it's 12 times 6 is 72. So we're doing the sixes starting from 72. So all the even numbers, that happens on. Odd numbers don't. Even numbers all fit with that pattern. 78, 84, and 90. And that's 30 squared is 900. Again, those zeros are our checks on here. 96, 102, and 108. Now what I want to tell you is that even though you're adding these numbers, if you get these worksheets and you do this every day, twice a day for 2 weeks, all these numbers, you won't even need the lines. You just know what number, you're adding the same numbers to the same numbers. It's one-digit numbers. It's all the same numbers. It's easy to do it, and it's going to help you when you want to start easily remembering what the squares of numbers are. You can do individual numbers. That's going to be that whole second stage, is doing individual numbers with this. So let's go ahead. We're going to start adding by sevens. We're at 108. So we're at 115. 34 squared is 1,156. And we just created that just by adding 7 to the previous 10s and putting our ones digit as a 6 on the end. Again, adding 7, 122, 129, and 136. Really cool and easy. Now, we're going to go up by 8s. Again, if you divide 136 by 8, you end up with 156 is 17 times that it goes in. So let's add by 8s, and I'm going to do it straight here. 144, 152, and look at that. 160, which means 40 squared is 1,600. 1,600, and that is accurate.
I hope that this has been helpful for you in giving you a slight picture of the scope of this approach to math. That many math teachers feel like there's one way to learn, and they try to push kids in that, and many teachers and parents feel like they don't know any other way to do it. And I'm really trying to present you with another way to learn math and to teach your kids math in a way that's fun and exciting for them. And what I really hope is that they will be able to do better in school and enjoy school more and do better in math and have a better relationship with you because of doing this, and that they will feel better about school and they'll feel better about themselves, because so many kids feel like they're defective, that something's wrong with them if they don't get math. And there's a lot of social stigma about not getting math, and it's a teaching problem. It's not a learning problem. And kids with different learning styles, this can really help them tremendously, and there's multiple ways actually within what I'm teaching to work with different kids who are autistic or ADD or struggle in different ways with how they learn. And you can use this method to follow the kids, because what you're doing is they're creating the math system out of these structures that I'm giving you. and they will find things that make sense to them, and you want to follow that and do that. So that's the approach for doing this. Now, I told you that I would get you more, that I'd show you a way to get more. And if you go to patternplaymath.com, patternplaymath.com, or you can actually go to MisterNumbers, M-I-S-T-E-R, MisterNumbers.com, and should I do this? This may, yeah, I think I can do this. There's a survey. If you're watching this later, you can copy that link out, because if you give me feedback on this, I'd love feedback. If you go to that survey, tell me what you think of this. What do you want more? What wasn't clear? What was clear? What was helpful? What do you want next? I really want your feedback for it. So if you watch this on video, pause it here, type that out, and send me that. Now for patternplaymath.com, if you do that, go there and then click on the products page, patternplaymath, all is one word, .com, and then click on the products page. It'll tell you about the 5 webinars that I'm offering you. And I really believe that it can help you, help your kids feel better about math, about themselves, to really help themselves out. It'll be 5 Thursdays at 10 a.m. Pacific, just like this one was. So the next 5 Sundays, next 5 Thursdays, starting next Thursday, it'll tell you on that page how to set that up and how to work that. Check that out, and I believe that the cost is really minimal. I'm really trying to do this for you. I'm almost giving it away, and I'm really doing that because I really want you to help your kids and do it. So we are, somebody else just came on, and we are just finishing up here. So there will be a replay on this on YouTube. It may be a couple hours before it's available, and I will get it up there, and I really hope that you learned something today and that you'll be able to really take this to another level with your kids, and that really helps them and helps you in your relationship with them, and that it can really make a difference in their lives for the rest of their lives. It will change how they feel about themselves, how they feel about math, how they feel about school, what they're learning, and I really appreciate that. And it is 11 o'clock. We're going to end here. I know that 2 things that people ask me about in the survey. One is special needs kids or different learning styles kids. Is this useful for them? And yes, it is. And what's really fascinating about it is that kids that love math and love numbers love this, and kids that struggle with math, that this is really helpful for them as well. It really is a big plus for them to be able to go through and learn this system for doing it. It makes sense to them. They are literally creating math on their own, rather than, it's like when kids say, I don't get math, math doesn't work for me. What they're meaning is that they were taught a way that doesn't work for them. And what you want to do is follow the student, follow your kids, on what makes sense to them. So what you're doing is you present the pictures, you present maybe the easy times table in our system, and that'll be covered in the next video that we'll do. We're going to I'm going to probably do the easy times table, the number wheels, the tic-tac-toe squares, the advanced easy times table, the advanced squares, and maybe the amazing calendar math are my goals right now, but I'm looking for your feedback on the survey. So check the survey out and give me feedback on that. And I know there are comments on there from the people that are viewing, but I can't find them right now. So I apologize to you because I'd love to address those now. But there's the special needs is one question that a lot of people had. And the other main one is about right brain math. And what right brain math is being, kids are visual. And we lose that as we become adults. And then the adults become the teachers and teach mental abstract ideas rather than using the pictures, which makes sense to kid. And it's a little bit like the guy who's looking for his key under the lamppost because that's where he can see clearly, but he knows he dropped it over here. Well, many teachers know that kids are visual, but they teach them mental because that's what makes sense to them. And that's where we're stuck, and teachers and parents are doing the best they can. And what I'm trying to do is to give you tools that give you options for doing it. So as much as possible, I use patterns, I use pictures, I use play methods of different ways to do it. I love the tic-tac-toe squares, I love the number wheels, I love the easy times table. And they're all great tools for kids to create math on their own. So I think we're going to wrap it up here at this point. I appreciate your time and attention for showing up here and for being here for this whole thing. It's really amazing, and I really feel the intention that you have of helping your kids. And I really believe that this will help you, help your kids. Or if you're one of those people that, like I said, this is for the adults and parents and teachers. If you're a kid and you're still here, know that you haven't wasted your time, because if you don't have a parent or a teacher that's willing to help you learn this, you can learn this from this video. And from this series, you can learn it yourself. And from my other videos, make yourself your own teacher and let that all happen, that you can create this and make it go. This is really in the best way for you as a kid who's learning it, or an adult who's learning it themselves, is to teach somebody else. So teach another kid, a younger brother and sister, your parents, or teachers. There's a lot of kids that take this stuff to school and they show it to their teacher, and the teacher will present it to the rest of the class. It's really cool. We want to sort of infiltrate fun ways to teach math. Math does not have to be hard. It doesn't have to be a struggle. And I hope that that's the minimal that you learn from doing this. But know that you can learn it yourself from this. And I really appreciate all the parents and teachers who have stayed on this long to watch all this. And I hope that you're getting a lot from it. And I do hope that you go to patternplaymath.com, go to the products page, and check out and get this whole webinar series, because I really think that it's valuable and be real helpful for kids. So thank you. I'm going to sign off now, but I really appreciate you showing up. Thanks again. Goodbye.